Hi Comrades, happy Sunday. If you're new here, I usually do horror movie reviews, horror series, and horror book reviews. But today's video is going to be a little bit different because I just watched Fresh on Hulu. And it was freaking crazy. And I just have to talk about it. Because I went into this movie thinking that it was going to be a romantic comedy or something. And then like 20 minutes in, it took a really strange turn. And I really enjoyed it. And it was super weird and really fun. And I just have to tell you about it, okay? So to start off, it is kind of a romantic comedy in a way. Depends how you look at it, okay? From my point of view, it is a romantic comedy. So the movie starts off with this girl. Her name is Noah. N-O-A, not N-O-A-H. She is dating online and she meets a guy named Chad and he's no good. And then she meets a guy named Steve at a grocery store and he is good. And then they like hit it off, I guess, or whatever. They go on a few dates, they go to a bar, and then he's like, hey, you want to go on a trip? And she knows him for like a week or something like that. Like, I swear to God, the timeline is kind of confusing, but it seemed like she's known him only for a week. And it also seems like she doesn't even know like his last name. She just takes whatever he says as the truth and didn't even like Google him or anything. That's what literally it seems like. He doesn't have any social media, red flag number 1. So he invites her on this cabin trip or whatever. He's like, oh, it's a surprise. So she calls her girlfriend Molly. She's like, hey, this guy, I'm going on a trip with him. And her girlfriend is like, hey, that's a red flag. But she's like, well, you told me to fuck it. So I'm going to get that D and go on a trip with this guy. So she ends up going on a trip with this guy. But before they go on the trip, he's like, hey, there's crazy traffic. So we're just going to sleep at my house first. I guess they live in like New York or something. And he lives like an hour away or something like that. Because, I don't know, the drive seemed really, really long. Oh my God, I'm out of breath. That's how excited I am. Anyways, so they get to his house. It's a huge freaking place because he's apparently a doctor and she believes him, obviously. I mean, in a way, he performs medical procedures. Let's just say that. Anyways, so they come to his house. She drinks a drink, whatever he prepares for her and himself. She's drugged. She falls asleep. She wakes up and she's like, hey, what happened? And he's like, I drugged you, girly. And she realizes that she's chained to a wall. And she's like, are you gonna rape me? And he's like, nah, I'm not gonna rape you. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do to you, but you're not gonna like it. And then he's like, I'm going to sell your meat and your hair because people pay a lot of money for that. Apparently. I don't know for sure, but in this movie, I bet people actually pay a lot of money for that. Anyways, she has like a mini little panic attack, right? Her friend Molly starts snooping, whatever. She starts looking for her. She realizes that whoever went on the trip with her is texting her from her friend Noah's phone number because she reverse Google searches an image from this place that they were supposed to go to, and it comes up as like a basic picture, right? And her friend Molly goes to a bar that apparently Steve and Noah went to. She asks the bartender, she's like, hey, I know you're gonna lose your job probably from this, but can you please tell me here his name? His name ended up being Brendan Steven something last name. She looks him up. She finds a house, right? Her best friend finds a house that her supposed kidnapper lives at or whatever. She realizes that he has a family, 2 kids. She comes to the house. She talks to the wife. She's like, hey, just FYI, I think your husband took my best friend. The wife obviously doesn't believe her. As she's leaving the house, Steve comes home. She's like, hey, I'm pretty sure you took my best friend. And he's like, no, I didn't. So she calls her friend's number, right? Steve picks up because he has her phone in the house. Turns out that the wife isn't on it too, so she smacks Molly on the back of her head. Molly goes unconscious. Now she is also one of the victims. Good job, Molly. Really good game plan. Should have called the police, but you didn't. Really good job. Then a girl, Noah, she tries to escape. And as a punishment... Okay, so you know how he sells meat or whatever? I thought he was going to cut off her leg or her arm or something like that. I don't know, like an ear, sell that. He cuts off her butt. Yeah. And since they were dating, Noah and Steve were technically dating, he does have some kind of feelings for her, right? He asks her out because she's like, hey, I'm curious what this tastes like, because she wants to get out. So she's like pretending to be liking him or whatever. He invites her to dinner and he feeds her other people's meat. Yeah. And she's like, that's not me, right? And he's like, nah, some girl named Melissa. There was another girl named Hope, and they kept joking about that. Because, you know, a girl named Hope got her freaking meat eaten. Anyways, at the end of the movie, Noah and Steve, they get close again. They start, like, making out or whatever, because she's so good at acting. She bites his penis. He freaks out. She runs away. She locks him in the little closet thing. She runs downstairs, she gets her friend Molly, and then another girl that was there this whole time, whatever her name was, whatever. They run in the forest, and they're like, oh my god, we're gonna freaking die, this guy's crazy. Steve breaks out, half a penis guy. Now his wife is also at the house looking for what the frick happened to Steve. She realizes that he's been cheating on her with a girl, Noah. And she kind of freaks out, but like silently. Then Noah and Molly, they low-key kill Steve. Well, not low-key. They like beat him up and then shoot him. And his wife finds his body and she's like, we gotta put it on ice. Come on, servants. Run. We have to put him on ice because this is precious meat. So I guess they were planning on eating him too. And then she bumps into Noah. And Noah doesn't know that he's married. So she's like, oh my god, are you one of the victims too? And then the wife tries to attacking Noah, but Molly jumps in and she kills the wife, and she's like, haha, that's actually Steve's wife. And Noah's like, what the frick? So at the end of the movie, Noah and all the other victims that didn't die from having their body parts eaten got out. And I guess it is a happy ending. And it is kind of a comedy. And I would definitely rate it a 10 out of 10. Like, this movie is going to stick with me for a while. Anyways, I just wanted to rant about this movie because I just watched it and I just had to talk about it. Sebastian, what's his name? Sebastian. Oh, Sebastian Stan stars in this movie, and then, yeah. Just for that reason, you should watch the movie. 10 out of 10. Would 100% recommend. If you stay this long, I really hope you scroll because I post videos at least once a week. And if you like this video, I really hope you give it a like. And I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye.